6 already. Blimey, episode 6 already. Sorry.
It is
hello.
episode 6.
Hello, yeah,
Hello,
episode
welcome
6.
to the Whovian vlog. Yeah, sorry, I was just kind of amazed. It's been 6
halfway
weeks already.
through.
It's
We're halfway
wow.
through.
Yes. We're back again.
Hello.
To discuss my word. What was it even called? The woman who lived.
The woman who
Yes.
lived. Yes.
Well. I think today, see, Ben and I have been talking, and we think today might be interesting because I've often complained that on the Whovian vlog we don't have that much. We all kind of have. We all have sort of similar opinions, and I wouldn't go so far as to call it boring. Not while I'm presenting it, obviously. But,
Yeah, no, of course
no,
not.
absolutely no. But yeah. I mean, we do kind of tend to agree on things. I said, it'll be interesting if an episode comes along that we can kind of disagree on and have sort of differing opinions. And Ben has just dropped out of the chat, which is very disappointing. But anyway, Jordan.
Hello.
There he is.
I do apologise. I pressed a button and I fell off. Yes.
Oh, you incompetent fool!
I'm
now,
sorry.
come on. Let us talk about this episode. Ben, you seem to have strong feelings.
Yeah, I just oh my god. Me and Jordan last week said that that we hoped that that this last episode was a bit crap unless the next one was any good, right? And I was thinking, right, this has got to be an absolute corker of an episode for it to work. And to be honest, I really didn't enjoy it. I was bored. I didn't like her particularly. I didn't like her character. She's a good actress, don't get me wrong. I didn't like her character. I didn't like the situation that she was in, and I didn't think that I just didn't find the Doctor there being there particularly useful, and I didn't enjoy the sort of plot. And also it's important to note that the two are completely not connected. The two episodes are almost completely not connected, so much so that they weren't even written by the same people. This episode was written by a different person. And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know if that's got something to do with it, but I just
Yeah.
That
might. I didn't know that, but that might definitely have something to do with it. Also, I feel you're right about the disconnection between the two episodes, and in fact, I would go so far as to say it might have worked better if they'd been separated.
Possibly, yeah.
It might have worked better to kind of illustrate the.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, oh, we only saw her last week, I mean, even though it's a time travel program, it kind of feels like it might even have been better if she'd. If we'd gone straight into the Zygons or whatever, and only come back to a Shielder.
Yeah.
Later in the year.
Do you know how bad it could possibly be?
How bad?
It's that, well, I was actually longing for the Doctor to have a companion in this episode.
You wanted a Clara. You didn't think it was any good, or not a
possibly.
Clara.
Well, it could.
Oh no, guys! I've suddenly realised that this is the only week we can't do any Clara bashing.
No, I know, but this might be the first week. Might be the first week where we realise what we're missing when we don't have a companion. Because genuinely, I'm not joking here. I kind of missed her in a weird way, and I don't like that. I don't like missing Clara.
The episode made you feel unsettled because you actually missed Clara.
Yeah, and can I just? This isn't sexist or anything, but we've
oh dear.
No, hang on, right. Our companion in this television series is a confident female, right?
Mm.
And I just don't see the need for these two episodes to have another confident female who's even, in my book, feels almost as, if not even more annoying.
Well, you say that, actually, she was only a sort of confident female in the second episode, which was the one without Clara. So I don't
maybe now every Doctor Who episode has to have one confident female.
Only one. Is it going to be like the BBC where they introduce the guideline that says there must be at least one woman on every panel show, and then they get around it by only ever having one woman?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just what I really didn't like was the fact that personally, I thought the plot was very thin and there wasn't a hell of a lot with it. I think.
Oh no, I know. Yeah,
It was all.
I
It was
found
very
kind
character
of,
driven.
You say it was very character driven, but actually, it wasn't even too much of that. Like it was
No.
the whole episode was kind of holding up a mirror to the Doctor and just going, this is the kind of thing you do. You have to,
But I don't even think that's
But
particularly fair.
but even that, yeah, the whole two-parter was kind of going, like, this is the Doctor, this is the effect he has, and kind of, oh, is it good, is it bad?
Yeah.
And this one seems to kind of indicate that actually his effect is negative, really.
But what I would say in that instance is that, to be fair,
yeah,
this isn't you can't. This isn't his fault. It's kind of her fault, really. It's her fault that she's gone and done. He can't be responsible for what she does. To be fair to him, I mean, all he's done is saved her, and now she's blaming him for all the things that she's done. And I think that's a bit rich. I mean, I don't know what you think, but I think
I'm
it's a
not
bit
certain.
rich.
I do think he kind of did it in the spur of the moment, I think, and it's kind of interesting to see the consequences.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that whole having two episodes revolve around that kind of, is not enough. There wasn't enough to either of them to make them decent.
No, I know what you mean. And to be fair,
the plot was kind of, and as well, the second episode, because they were so distinct, the great praise that the three of us have given to the sort of first four episodes was that as two-parters, they had a good story spread out over 2 weeks. But because these two were self-contained, they were really crammed in, and it was really kind of jerky almost.
Yeah,
like the first,
and
like the beginning of this episode, it was just kind of like he just lands and it's like, oh, here's the thing, and
I know what you mean.
like,
and
not particularly good.
If these had been 2 one-parters, which they could have easily have been, right, like they would have been last year, I'm pretty sure we would have been rating them fairly low, because the first episode's plot was, let's be honest, it was crap. It was really small. Well,
it wasn't so bad, but it was,
it made sense. Yeah. But it was really simple, to be fair to it. Yeah. Now, the plot in this episode,
they could have done more with the premise.
Yeah.
It was pretty terrible.
I just, it was going so well, wasn't it? And now it's just all come undone. It's the Series 9 was going really well. I mean, I was talking to my physics teacher is a big Doctor Who fan, and he was complaining that I don't like the way the Doctor. He doesn't like the way he thinks it's become a bit more accessible to children and all this, and he thinks that he doesn't like the way Peter's Doctor is with all of these sunglasses and stuff. And to be fair, I quite like Peter's Doctor in this series, because I was watching some clips from Series 8 earlier, and he's become a lot more comfortable in the role. To be fair to him,
I take I take your point. He's got a bit of a grounding. I think he's got a bit of a
And to be honest, I have enjoyed these. The first two-parters, I thought, God, I love these. These are great. I genuinely thought these are really good episodes. And there was so much hype that Maisie Williams was going to be on Doctor Who. There was so much hype. And
actually, you're right, Ben. She's a very good actress. They could have given her a far better role.
Yeah, I'm not saying that she did anything wrong, because to be fair to her, she's only 18 and she's bloody brilliant, really good. Obviously she does the Games of Thrones and all of that, but she's a very, very good actress. But they could have done something. They could have done something with her that was a bit more than just that. I don't know. Jordan.
Jordan. To talk about the thing.
Go on, Jordan.
I've been gone for ages.
Jordan Speaks.
I've been gone for ages.
Yeah, go on. Yeah. We were just kind of moaning about the episode and how the two together just were kind of terrible. And
I didn't enjoy it at all. It was horrible. Pretty much all I've got to say.
At least we agree. Well, we've agreed again mostly.
Oh no! We got a controversial episode. Come on!
I don't think it helped. I suppose that me and Jordan last week had this theory about perhaps that Ashilda ended up being Clara, and I was waiting for that to happen. I was like, is it going to happen?
No, not something else. It really annoys me when. I don't want to say really annoys, but it kind of irritates me that Clara's got this this kind of destiny thing. Like,
Yeah.
like when she was sort of first introduced, she's got this whole, I was born to save the Doctor, and she ends up splitting herself through history for him. And I'm like, oh, come on. And now she's this kind of, it's like it inflates her ego being this kind of, oh, I'm so important, everything revolves around me. And then she's finally kind of settled down to become a bit less.
Yeah.
Kind of, like, she is a teacher. I mean, she's still got a huge ego, but at least she's not, at least it's an unjustified ego. At least it's just her being sort of self-centered and not,
to be fair to her,
there's no good reason for it. But
she is quite good at what she does. To be fair to her.
We haven't seen very much of it, to be honest. She always just tends to be kind of going, just naming famous lady authors. And
in terms of her as a time traveller, she's quite a decent time traveller, to be fair to her. You can't knock her for that. She's very annoying, but she's quite...
Oh, no, yeah. No, she's, But she doesn't do too badly as a companion, as a person.
No,
why we don't like it.
Yeah, but,
what I'm saying is, I would have hated for Ashilda to turn out to be Clara.
Yeah, well, I
would have hated that.
I was just waiting for something to happen that was going to be, like, really interesting and exciting and a big twist, and it didn't really. It didn't happen. But what I would say is,
on the plus side, I would have said almost the only positive of this. Well, I would give this episode that's just happened, The Woman Who Lived, there are only 2 positives to it.
Yeah.
One, which is, I think, something that we should talk about possibly in depth. Ashilda is now functionally immortal, and she's taken on the task of kind of looking after people that the Doctor abandons, which means she's a potential, obviously, to kind of crop up again and potentially be an interesting plot person. So even if these 2 episodes were crap, if she comes up again, it could be quite interesting. But later in the series, or even in a couple of series' time,
I'm waiting for a. What about a Torchwood revival with her and Captain Jack?
I want Jack to turn up again.
Her and Captain Jack.
I think her and Jack wouldn't get on, to be honest, because she's kind of a bit sketchy on the whole morals thing, and Jack is. Jack's moral. He's a bit sort of shifty sometimes.
Well, he's flirty, but he's not. He knows.
No, I know, but like he was a con man and a criminal, and he's a bit. Sometimes he's a bit dark, but he's not bad.
He's got.
And I think she blurs the line a bit.
She's quite bad.
He is most definitely on the right side of things. But the second thing that I found quite good about this episode was all the marginally rude jokes, because that's always fun.
Yeah, some of them were quite funny, yes.
Just that I thought that was quite good. But no, other than that, it was abysmal. Yeah.
In terms of the verdict, I mean, I don't want to get into scores just yet, but what I would say is that my dad hasn't watched any of the series yet, and he does he's not, he's an armchair watcher. He doesn't know it as well as I do. And so he watched it with me, and he didn't enjoy it. And if he didn't enjoy it, then let's be honest, what was
the general population probably did.
Yeah. Now, what's quite funny is that I went on the internet, sort of in the immediate aftermath, and I went and I had a look at reviews, you see.
Oh, yeah, of course.
There's someone, right, the Daily Telegraph gave it 5...
Not them again.
And I was just like, what? It's a standout episode, apparently, according to Catherine G here.
Who is she? What's wrong with her?
I don't know. And then IGN. Expect to know better.
Has she had her sense of taste surgically removed?
Well, yeah. At IGN, who you'd expect to know better, 9.2 out of 10.
Do you think they're only rating it high because it had a star-studded cast?
I don't know.
That's the only reasonable explanation in my mind. Biased.
The Radio Times says a dark and beautiful study of immortality and short lives. No, not really. Well, I suppose it's... To be honest, what I would say is they took this really interesting concept and just completely didn't execute it in any really good way. It was, to be honest, the idea was potentially brilliant.
Oh, both episodes had quite good ideas driving them, but they were done very poorly.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of our conclusion. I think there's only one time we've ever criticised an episode for having a bad premise, and that was in The Forest of the Night. because that was just a terrible idea.
Pretty terrible, wasn't it? Really, let's be honest. The idea was awful.
The idea was awful, but that's the only time we've ever looked at an episode. At least Robot of Sherwood. We will admit that even Robot of Sherwood had a decent kind of idea.
It had a good idea.
And these two did.
It was an idea, to be fair, Robot of Sherwood, that we have seen before, but the idea was good. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't good, but it was just, it wasn't a good episode. And these had some very good ideas that could have been explored in very interesting ways, and they just weren't.
Yeah.
They just weren't.
The whole training, like, I think we should kind of talk about both episodes together, because the first one, like the idea of kind of training the villagers, the farmers, the peasants to kind of ward off, that was it's an established thing, but it could have been done very well. And the whole and the stuff about I really didn't as well. The problem with this episode was as well that the kind of the lion and the space thing, and you didn't really get into it. There wasn't.
No, I mean
it's
that was
the same
also...
problem that we. It's the problem that you don't notice until you've had it taken away. Is the problem of short episodes. And single episode storylines. We didn't really complain about that last year, but now that we've had a couple of two-parters that have been really good.
Yeah, really good.
It's something to complain about.
Yeah,
and you don't realise that until now.
I mean, the lion, I think, appeared only in the last 15 minutes of that episode.
Well, I mean, his eyes there a couple of times, so you knew something odd was going on. But
but it was very...
I thought it would have been far more interesting if instead of the lion thing, they'd had the Viking guy from the last episode. That would actually have been more interesting if he'd kind of come back to seek his revenge, whatever. I don't know.
To be honest, I think that...
Not the Viking guy, the fella with the horrible face and the eye patch and all that.
Maybe what we might be seeing here is the first evidence that these kind of storylines are even too big for two-parter episodes. See what I mean? Like,
I don't agree with that, actually. I think this could have worked very well in a two-parter, but they just did it poorly. I think they could have done the whole immortality and the whole thing. Again, I think it would have been even better if it hadn't been a two-parter, if it had been kind of written by the same... Two episodes written by the same person with the Shielder and the immortality. I think they would have done quite well being placed, maybe with sort of 4 or 5 episodes between them.
Yeah, the best way for me to analyse this is that when I used to write stuff for English, and what I used to do, and say it was on a time limit, and I used to sort of waffle, and then I'd do this really detailed sort of first section and all this, and then you'd realise that there was 10 minutes left, and then you'd rush the end, and that's exactly what this episode feels like. It feels like as if there was so much time spent on this Viking nonsense, and then they had to cram in all of this stuff about immortality, and it felt rushed, and it didn't have to feel rushed, but it did because it was written badly. And I just think it's a shame, really, that it's been written badly. The fact that it's been written badly. And the other shame, I suppose, is that this episode was written by the first female Doctor Who writer since the lady who did the Sontaran experiment.
Wait, really? The Sontaran? No, not the Sontaran experiment, surely.
I think it was.
Yeah, it is. It's
Bloody hell, that's Tom Baker.
No, not Sontaran experiment.
Oh, I was going to say
The Poison Sky, 2008.
That's only David Tennant. That's not
But that's
quite
still
as bad.
7 years ago. That's still 7 years ago.
Oh no, it's still a long time ago. But if it had been
Sorry, I
Tom
got
Baker,
one mixed up then.
That's
I didn't
terrifying.
No, but it's a shame because, to be honest, I don't know what Stephen Moffat decided to do there, but if that was his idea to have 2 writers writing this episode, then what the hell was he thinking? Because
did they just not talk to each other?
I don't know.
Or maybe they filmed episode 1 and then they showed it to the second writer and said, now do part 2.
No, because they filmed the 2 episodes in the same block. They filmed them in the same block, 5 and 6.
Well,
because episode 5 was written by Jamie Mathieson and Stephen Moffat, right?
Oh, he was quite good last year. I'm a bit disappointed in him now.
Now, the second episode was written by Catherine Okay, so next week isn't written. The next week is written by Peter Harness. He should be quite good. He's quite good at Heavens.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what on earth was I going to say? So we're going to, yes, so that is kind of disappointing. I think at the end of the day, the most that we can say about this was what we've said, that it had very, very interesting concepts and premises, and it just did not perform. It was like setting out this kind of fantastic, like, the amazing conjurer, the amazing magician, stage magician, and it's just a bloke who just does card tricks, and it's just kind of like, well...
Yeah, I'm going to erase this one from my memory and start afresh next week.
Going to bleach my brain.
Actually, we're halfway through the season.
We are.
Yeah.
And I would have said, should we kind of...
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, let's rate this episode first, and then let's say, right, the first half has been such and such.
Right, okay.
What do we think the second half? What do we hope for the second half? And
can I go first with the
Absolutely,
the
go first for the ratings.
Okay, so I start with acting because it was good. Let's give it an 8. The plot was terrible, so I'm going to give that 3. And overall, I'm going to give this episode, the 2 episodes together, I'm going to be really horrible. I'm going to give them a 3 out of 10.
I think that might just be the lowest rating we've ever given anything.
Possibly.
Even Robot of Sherwood. Even
I'm really annoyed.
Of the Night.
I'm really annoyed. That's what it is. I'm really peeved off.
You're just really irritated, yeah.
Yeah, because it was going so well, and it's been ruined. It's just gone wrong. It's going so well. Plucky
Mr. Mark.
brick.
Oh, sorry, Ben.
Yeah, go.
Okay. As a two-parter, I'm gonna go low, about 4.
Yeah.
The acting was superb in it. I did like the acting.
Yeah.
So that's 7, 8. Story again was just horrible. 3. So overall, I'm going like 4-ish, maybe 5.
Yeah.
I see. Oh gosh. The acting. We always agree on the acting. I think unless you end up with some terrible actor, the acting was a pretty solid sort of 8-ish. Maisie Williams doing this very kind of cold villainess almost. Yeah, it was kind of good. But the stories were just kind of feeble. More than anything else. I agree. Kind of down in the, what did you guys say? Sort of 3s, 4s. Yeah, that kind of region. And for the 2 episodes together, no, it's going to be a 4, man. It's not even half. It's not even a pass mark.
No,
it's not even a 50%.
It's not even a C at GCSE. This
no,
really.
It's not even.
If
you'd
written
even join the police with a mark like that.
If you'd written this episode in your GCSE English language paper, where you have to write that story at the end, you wouldn't be getting a C. No. Let's put it that way. No, it's absolute nonsense. I'm very disappointed. I'm sorry.
It's the thing. It's like they sort of give you, write a story that it plays on these themes: immortality or life and death.
Yeah.
Overwhelming odds, such and such. And it's just drivel.
Can we end that bit there? Because I want to talk about something else quickly before we go on to the half series. I've just been looking at the previews for all the episodes. I'm just looking at The Heaven Sent, which is the episode 11, which is the first part of the season finale. And the synopsis reads like this. In a world unlike any other he has seen, the Doctor faces the greatest challenge of his many lives, and he must face it alone. And that makes me feel so... I'm like, oh my god, that sounds great. Don't cock it up, Stephen. Don't.
I think that might jolly well be the Whovian Vlogs motto. Don't cock it up, Stephen.
Anyway,
yes. So we're at the halfway point. That's a good point.
Scary.
I didn't even realise until now. Yeah, we're halfway through the season.
6 weeks.
Which means we've only got 6 weeks left of Claro.
Woo!
Hopefully.
Wait, does she leave at Christmas or in the last episode?
I hope she leaves at the end of the last episode.
No, but if she leaves Christmas, that'll be the best present we can receive.
Oh, yeah. It'll be like... Yeah, but if we have it before, then it'll be like Christmas has come early.
Yeah, true. But the thing is, last year they said, "Oh, she's going to leave at Christmas," and then she didn't, and we were like miserable. So who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, gents, well, the first 2 episodes fantastic. The second 2 fantastic. And the episodes 5 and 6 kind of flimsy. But kind of just looking at the whole thing and all the things they've done well. Are you optimistic? Are you?
I am.
I'm very interested.
Yeah.
I think it could go either way at this point.
Because the annoying thing is that we had a really good start. You know, those first 4 episodes were just cracking.
If it weren't for 5 and 6 being pitiful, I think we would right now be going, this has been fantastic. The next 6 weeks are going to be amazing. The finale is going to make us all explode. Yeah. It's just exactly. And we're just.
To be honest,
I am a tad worried, but I think if you look at the list of writers, I don't think it happens again that there's a 2-parter written by separate people.
No, there isn't. There's
only exactly.
2,
so I think
we've only got 2 more 2-parters left. You see, the next 2 and then the last 2.
And then there's 2 standalone.
There's 2 single. So the 2 single ones. One of them, Face the Raven, I think, is the one that doesn't have the Doctor in it. That's the 10th one, which was written by...
Oh, and that's the one that could technically be counted as kind of flowing straight into the finale.
No, sorry. Face the Raven... Yeah, you're right. No, Face the Raven has got the Doctor in it. It's Sleep No More. That one is the one. That's the found footage episode, you know?
Oh, right. Yeah. It's kind of like Doctor Who does the Blair Witch Project, wasn't it? Or something like that.
So the next 2 episodes, what I'm hoping for is a good... alien invasion of Earth episode, a bit like the Sontaran stratagem, Sky.
Something more kind of classic.
Like
where
the end of the world. The end
properly,
is nigh. Yeah. The Zygons are going to take over. I want something I want meat and veg Doctor Who for these next 2 episodes.
Proper back to basics kind of things. Yeah.
Because if they're going to do interesting stuff like this Sleep No More and Heaven Sent, right? If they're going to do all of this experimental stuff, they've got to get the basics right first.
Yeah, so we've got to show them. They've got to show us that they can do it properly.
Yeah. So
and then we can kind of let them play with it a bit and branch out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I know exactly what you mean. So we've got Unit coming back, we've got Osgood, we've got the end of the world.
I was literally cosplaying her yesterday.
Were you really? Oh, we should. How was Comic-Con?
Comic-Con, to touch on that, it was fantastic. There were a lot of people I noticed going around. Sort of, you'd see 2 people together, and one of them was David Tennant, and one of them was Matt Smith.
Yeah,
going around in pairs. It was very.
I just realised.
Next year, do you know what? In a couple of years, we should get the crew together. We should get sort of us 3 and maybe somebody else if possible, and kind of do an Eccleston, Tennant, Smith, Capaldi.
Yes. But the thing is, though, yesterday was meant to be the day we were going to do the 14 Doctors, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. We were intending.
Were we going to go to Comic-Con?
I think that's a discussion to be had off air. But I did suggest doing it at an event so that we could nail it down, and we'd have to buy tickets, and then people couldn't drop out. But anyway, yes.
Anyway, so that was good. You met McCoy.
I met Sylvester McCoy, which is So he's a very nice little man.
Yeah. So just quickly before we wrap up, in terms of the next 2 episodes, Meat and Veg, Alien Invasion should be okay.
Yeah, and then a bit of experimental towards the end, and hopefully a really cracking finale. In the vein of the first 4.
I am excited for the finale.
Oh, absolutely. I think if they can pull it off like they pulled off the beginning, then it'll be amazing.
If the finale is as good, I'm expecting the finale to be even better than the opening.
Oh, you always want your finale to be the best.
Yeah, but if it's even as good as the
just
start,
as good,
I'll be happy. Then, I'll be happy.
If it falls short, I think, gentlemen, we will have to be brutal and storm the BBC
and Moffat to resign.
Expel Moffat. No, march up to the building and carry him out.
What I would say is it has to have a massive cliffhanger, like the world's tallest cliff, and then hanging off that. You know, it needs to be like huge, so that people just go, "Oh my god!" and then everybody watches it the week after. Like that time when David Tennant nearly regenerated, and it was
like that. Yeah,
like that. Something like that.
Something serious, yeah.
Yeah, like really big, you know. Like, I don't know. We
have no idea, but we hope it's good.
We hope it's good. We're praying
That's
it's good.
our summary of next year.
I'm crossing my toes.
I wish I could.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
hopefully. Looking forward to next week and
absolutely.
the next half of the series.
Thank you all very much for joining us.
Yes.
Well, and obviously, please join us again next week because it looks like it's going to be thrilling.
Yeah, hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone.
Don't turn into a Zygon.
Ha! Or maybe it's one of us.
Ah.